Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1985's Corporate Assets from 1985. I have to tell you here, folks, that if by any chance you ever think, oh, what can an X-rated film be? Oh, I think X-rated films, they can't really have the production value. They can't really have the story. They can't have the twists and the turns of a story. They can't have the drama of a story. They can't have the action of a story, the horror of the story, the darkness, the light, the comedy, the love, the romance. It can't possibly have the tension. It can't possibly have, did I mention, the twists and the turns. It can't possibly have the pacing. It can't possibly 1985's Corporate Assets. Wow. Directed by Thomas Paine. Stars such people as Eric Edwards, Tish Ambrose, Amber Lynn, Rachel Ashley, Sherry St. Clair, Jamie Gillis, Paul Thomas, Harry Reams, Herschel Savage. Oh man, is he savage in this. I never hated him so much, and you're supposed to. Arbola, Nick Random. The lead girl in this film, I don't know which one of those names is hers. I don't remember seeing her before. The lead, the blonde, this one, right here. This is wow. Yeah, we're looking at an hour and 45 minutes, and whoa, man. Okay, so okay. All right. So let's do this, okay? Politics, power, company, prostitution, behind the scenes of the political spectrum, behind the scenes of the CEOs, the leaderships of the world. Love, romance, friendship, the Vietnam War, PTSD, pen pals, love versus lust, rape, mental illness, bubblegum. Yeah, bubblegum. Pills for a heart attack, costumes, grown men acting like a baby fetish, weird uses of playing with jacks, violence, gunfire, drugging. I mean, there is darkness in this film. There are disturbing scenes in this film. There's also light. There's also emotion. You know, even at the end of the film, I found myself getting a little emotional about it all. Corporate Assets is really a full, complex storyline going on here. And you know, it's quite unbelievable, to be honest. Definitely, you know. Okay, so if we didn't just have like the amazing you know, production value and twists and turns and wildness of the storyline and everything else, we also have unbelievable sex scenes in this movie. And as I mentioned just a few moments ago, yeah, even some wild fetishes in here as well. Some really bizarre, kinky, weird fetishes that I really haven't seen much of in X-rated cinema, to be honest with you, you know, from these times, 70s and 80s. And I mean, unbelievable sex scenes. The girls look amazing. You got top players for the guys, but you got amazing acting. You got real emotion being portrayed here, and you know, much like some other films, like the Vinegar Syndrome released film that I'm looking at here, Skin Flicks. This is another thing. It's very, very interesting because where, you know, you have these adult film actors playing, or actresses in this particular case, playing the role of being involved in the sex trade, and the inadequacies of that, and the darkness of that, and the pain of that, the emotional ups and downs, and also the difficulty in being able to have a relationship outside of it. Now, obviously, in this film as well, we also have corruption. We have, you know, power, prostitution, which some people believe porn is. Some people believe porn is legalized prostitution in a cinematic world. You know, the interesting thing is, as I was watching this amazing movie, and as it says on the poster, the front, a major adult film. You can't see that, it's in green. This is sealed, this DVD copy, because I watched it on the 5 Films Blu-ray set, which I believe is out of print now, from Vinegar Syndrome. They took this and gave a high-def transfer to it. But, you know, you can't help but, when you're watching this, and you're seeing these actresses playing the pain on the screen, you know, you really know that this is a movie, and that these movies, if they're portraying, you know, this type of emotional pain and anguish and things like that, you know, or one would guess that the actual sets of the movies were nothing like the corruption that was happening in this film. You know, that everybody was actually, you know, treated well, and so on and so forth. Sure, there's horror stories. You know, in every field. But as I watched this, I said, you know, for them to really be tapping into this terror, and yet to be porn actors, and to, you know, to see a difference between being a porn actor and the emotional pain of being in a sex trade that's in the story of this film, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, of course, you always have porn actors who come out, you know, years later, and they say, "Oh my gosh, it was horrible. I never wanted to be a part of it." But, you know, you can't discount the many that embrace it and have no regrets whatsoever, and said it was an amazing time in their lives. This was just very, very lavish. The music you had 80s type of pop rock type music. You also had classical music in here, and you also had really sultry, jazzy, sexy jazz music, and you also had dark, dramatic, almost horror score in this film as well. And this is, I mean, I was at the edge of my seat. I mean, this is the type of movie where you will have, you know, the worlds of being at the edge of your seat, at the same time playing with yourself. It's like this crazy. This is what makes the X-rated film so complex. This crazy, contradictory, cinematic world, where you have crazy ass sex scenes, like really hot, and but even like wild and fetishistic and everything else, with like a man playing a baby, and a woman playing his baby sister, and then the other woman playing a mom. I mean, just crazy stuff. And I think there's like one thing where he's like peeing. You hear him peeing in the bathroom, and he wants her to watch him. It's alluded to. You have all of that, right? Crazy blowjob scenes and all of this. And then all of a sudden you also have a scene where you could shed a tear over a wedding ceremony, or your heart will be racing because you're trying to figure out how they're going to rescue somebody, or how these two are going to get together again, or will they kill that person, and holy crap, how did that person just die? Do you see what I'm saying here? I mean, what other genre of film would give you the tension, the drama, the romance, the darkness, the horror, the crime, the action, and also the cum shots that will make you sweat? Especially the two girls in the bathtub scene when she's thinking about the guy that she loved. Anyway, so here we go, folks. This is 1985's Corporate Assets. Unbelievable movie. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bazaar YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like Corporate Assets. Please feel free to follow me at my Vimeo site where I make my own films and music at www.vimeo.com/poopydiarrhea, POOPYDIARRHEA. Thank you so much and good night.